I'm going to tell you the story of how I found my purpose in 30 days, how I've helped other guys do it, and I'm going to teach you the entire framework for you to do on your own here in this video. Stick around for the whole video. It might just change your life. This process has completely changed mine. I went from losing all of my clients, running out of money, and breaking up with my fiance, to rebuilding in less than 30 days, moving to a new country, and healing my relationship in ways that I thought were completely lost to me. I'm running this process on myself, but I'm also a seasoned executive coach who has taken many men through transformative experiences that have changed their lives. My client Soleil was in a space of struggle and uncertainty, constantly worrying about what's next. He was feeling alone in his struggle as the leader of his organization, and by the end of our container, he became the man he had always wanted to be. He had built an incredibly deep connection to God and even became a preacher for God in his organization. And he never imagined he could feel this incredible about his life. Carlos was going through a painful divorce where his wife took massive amounts of money, and most importantly, half the time with his kids. He was depressed, angry, and resentful. He was stuck in a rut he couldn't get out of, was in pain, and had constant negative thought loops that would consume many hours of his day. After working together, he feels like a new person. He has more energy, more self-confidence, and even has found a new girlfriend that could end up being the woman he spends the rest of his life with. And Ryan was stuck in a rut with his marriage, in his business, and in how he felt in his body. Since adopting this framework, his life has transformed in rapid ways. He has experienced dramatic healing in his marriage, doubled his income, and adopted a rockstar healthy diet. Most importantly, he's changed the perception of himself. He's become a much more confident person. He's taken ownership over his life and created immense excitement for his life, knowing that he can do things he previously thought weren't even possible. And the most important testimonial is my own. I'm constantly pushing myself with this framework. I'm an executive men's coach with a successful $120,000 offer under my belt. I've taken guys through various levels of transformation, but I lost all of my clients a few months back when I wasn't keeping up with the transformation myself. And this is the problem in the coaching industry. Too many coaches lie to themselves, and it affects their ability to deliver true transformation. I lost sight of my purpose in pursuit of the big ticket coaching containers. It drove my business into the ground, and it even ended my engagement with my fiance. It was a true rock bottom, and it was also the greatest gift of my life. Through it, I was finally faced with the reality of my situation. These were the things I had been refusing to look at or was just distracting from. Areas where I had been settling for a less than fulfilling life. I thought I was in my purpose, but I wasn't lit up to live it every single day. I was comfortable but bored, happy but not really in joy. And I wasn't motivated to pursue the big impact that I knew I was capable of. In short, I was living a mediocre life. I would look around and wonder why I didn't have the results I was praying for or visualizing after years of doing so. I was just coping with the reality I had created until it all came crashing down. Losing clients, massive turmoil in my relationship, and choosing to move countries illuminated the prison I had created for myself. This cold dose of reality forced me to make a change. And so change I did. I adopted this framework and radically transformed my own life. It gave me the energy and motivation to adopt new habits, push the edge in my business, speak for my needs in the relationship, and to try things I had previously held back from doing. I began doing Instagram lives, opening up new offers that were more aligned with truth, rebuilding my business back to where it was at in under a month, and re-proposing to my fiance in a brand new, more aligned and focused version of our relationship. The confidence, the potency, the strength I feel, I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. And most importantly, I am unequivocally in my purpose. I did it in under 30 days, and that is what I want to teach you how to do yourself. So how do you unlock your purpose in life? Well, through a process I've developed called Cave to Crown. So let's break this framework down. The backbone of this work is getting to truth. Capital T, truth, for yourself. Where truth is, God is, and where God is, transformation is possible. To get to the truth, we first need to look at where we are lying to ourselves and others. This might not be obvious at first, but it comes down to understanding that there are two types of lies. These are blatant lies and lies of withholding. A blatant lie is a lie where we tell a story that we know is not true. An example of this would be if I were to tell you I've run this process on thousands of men. I haven't. I've run it on a handful of very brave souls, including myself. A lie of withholding is where we don't share the whole truth all the way or deliberately withhold the truth to some degree that we know would give someone a different perspective if we told it all the way. An example of this is when I spent months distracting and wasting my time during the day, but not sharing it with my fiance when she would ask about my day. I would tell her about the few things I was proud of or thought she would approve of in how I spent my time. But in reality, I spent most of the day scrolling Instagram or Twitter or just wasting time trying to figure out what to do instead of taking action. This type of lie is the most insidious. It's the poison that gets in the cracks of our integrity and often opens the door wide to way more lies making their way into our lives. The more we rationalize or excuse these types of lies, the more enmeshed in the illusion we become and get further and further away from our truth and thereby our purpose. As we peel back the layers of fantasy, lies, and withholding, we start to see the truth of our reality that was hidden. The pain we've been numbing from, the mediocrity, the lack of fulfillment, these things that have been unsustainable for a long time that are actually holding us back in so many ways. As we see them for the first time, we are illuminating the cave. The cave is the place in life where we're stuck. It's the place you feel trapped in and haven't found a way to get out of. The cave is painful, but bearable. It's the place you've numbed yourself to in life. Another way to look at this is a mental prison. This prison often has stories associated with it that are holding you back from ever leaving. These stories were largely developed during childhood and your teenage years and center around self-worth, confidence, sexual distortions, fantasies, and repressed emotions. If you feel disconnected from your emotions, it's a sure sign you're in a cave. If you're fighting with your partner, or not making enough money, or waiting for life to happen to finally reach whatever blank goal, you're in a cave. If you are sexually unsatisfied, you're in a cave. If you feel like you're here to make a big impact, but the world doesn't know who you are, you're in a cave. If you compare yourself to others and wonder why you don't have the success that they have, you are in a cave. And most importantly, if you aren't waking up excited and turned on by life, you are in a cave. Here's the good news. The first step to getting out of the cave is recognizing that you're in one. Once you finally see and accept your reality, you can start to get real about what is actually going on in your life. This is a fundamental, foundational step for you to get your life back on track, and it is the launch pad for you to connect with your purpose. As you begin to see and accept the reality of your cave, you will start to see a way out. This is where things get slippery, though. Most people stop at one aspect of the cave. They have their breakthrough, an illumination, and then they get to work on just that one aspect. This can already bring transformation, but it's not the full picture. The cave doesn't just affect one area of your life. It's across all four quadrants of a healthy, balanced life: money, relationships, body, and spirituality. If you find yourself in a cave in one area, it's a guarantee you are in a cave in others. You just need to have the courage to look deep enough. How you start to see the walls of the cave is a process that I will detail in a future video. For now, we are laying out the groundwork of a framework to help you get to the truth in your life, aka finding your purpose. If there's a truth about where you are now, there also has to be a truth about where you want to go. Here in Kingmakers, we call this your crown. The crown is the truth of what you actually want. It's the vision of where your life can go. No king can rule his kingdom without a vision for the kingdom, and you won't get out of the cave without knowing the destination you want to get to. This is the next place we lie to ourselves, though. Thanks to social conditioning, failures, setbacks, trauma, and a load of other things, we set our sights short for what we truly want. We tell ourselves that what we truly want isn't realistic, and so we settle for less than exciting. We settle for doable. But doable is actually just doable from within the cave you're in. You don't know the energy, the passion, the motivation that's available to you when you unburden yourself from the lies you're telling about where you're at. And doable is boring as fuck. No wonder you don't want to get out of bed. No wonder you haven't made the changes you know you need to make. There's no real reward on the other side. There's no fulfillment in halfway there. So you continue to believe the lies and never actually pursue the life of your dreams. And here's the gold. In pursuit of the life of our dreams is where we find purpose. In saying yes to the truth of what you actually want, you are living your soul's desire, God's desire for your life. And who you become in pursuing this is your purpose. So, how you grow, the experiences you have, and the passion and fulfillment is the answer. So let's look at the two elements so far. We have the cave, which is the truthful reality of where you are right now in life. We also have the crown, which is the truth of where you want to go. When you have these two elements, the rest of the puzzle is simple. We need to plot the course, how to get there. The course is the 4 critical steps you must take to get from your cave to your crown. If you want to generate a $30K month in your coaching business from $0, you will need to break that goal into 4 major milestones. In this case, we could break it into the categories of defining your product or offer, marketing or generating leads for that offer, closing sales, and delivering the product or offer. These 4 major milestones have to happen for you to go from not having clients to having $30K in your bank account. There are many smaller steps that need to be taken to hit each of these major milestones, but the path forward is very simple. We can apply this to every area of life. If you want to gain 20 pounds of muscle, we can get real about where you're at in your fitness and your diet now, define the specific crown you want to attain about your body weight, and then define the 4 major milestones to get there. Sex life, same thing. Get radically real about where your sex life is now. What is contributing to it being the way it is? Then define the frequency, depth, and intimacy of your truly fulfilling sex life and break it into 4 major milestones that will allow you to climb out of this cave and claim your crown. The last piece of this framework is called the call. This is the call to adventure, to borrow a term from Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey framework. What is the first step you must take to claim your crown? This needs to be simple, measurable, and have a deadline. Preferably a deadline of today. Life isn't waiting for you, my friend, so don't wait for it. When you know your cave, your crown, and the course, you must accept the call, meaning take action immediately. And this is the coolest part. When you take your first action, you are actually taking your first step in climbing out of your cave and claiming your crown. It really is that simple. So, this is the framework. Cave, crown, course, call. When you adopt this framework into your life and get ruthlessly honest about where you're at, what you want, how to get there, and then take the first step, your life will radically and permanently transform. You do that every day for the next 30 days, and you will be fully on the way to living your purpose and a life of true fulfillment. You can absolutely take yourself through this process by yourself. I take myself through it often, and I've laid it out here for you. But if you're like the many men that I work with, seeing through your own bullshit is often hard to do. This type of radical truth is uncomfortable. And this means you will be seeking comfort through the whole process. But that's the trap. Getting halfway through the transformation is like getting halfway out of the cave. You won't ever get to your crown, and you will eventually end up right back where you started, wondering why your life still looks the same. This is why I built a supercharged program called the Cave to Crown Month. We will take 1 month to ruthlessly illuminate the cave that you are in, find your most potent and fulfilling crown, unpack the simple course to get there, and then answer the call by taking action every single day. The benefit of going through this process with me is the high degree of accountability. So you don't make it part of the way and then just drop off going right back into your cave in a very short amount of time. So what you need to do next is click the link to book a free discovery call. It's 90 minutes and will guaranteed change your life regardless if you join the Cave to Crown Month or not. There's no risk other than the risk of not taking action and continuing to live your mediocre life. I've taken many men through this process, and I'm confident to take you through it as well. So with that, it is time to book your call now.